Hi, this is Dr. Greg Oliver. Welcome again to Fat Doctor TV. Well, you know, the hardest thing for us when we want to change our lifestyle or we want to get healthy, we want to lose weight, is getting started. We are creatures of habit. We don't like change. And so when we think about losing weight, changing our diet, starting an exercise program, in our mind we can visualize that. We say, yes, I want to lose weight. Boy, I'm tired of being at this weight. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of running out of breath, or whatever it is. We know that, and we visualize and say, I want to lose the weight, but that's not strong enough desire. And so we kind of stay in the comfort zone. We continue to do what we do. We continue to eat the same things. We continue to go to the same restaurants. We continue to associate with the same friends who food is the central kind of mechanism for socialization. We don't want to change. And you know what? That's normal. How do we know that? How do I know that? Because it's just like me. We all do this. We get comfortable. We like what we're doing. But yet we look at ourselves and say, boy, I just want to lose this weight, and I just can't seem to do it. And it really is a mind over matter thing. It's been that way with me for years and years and years. I can get started, I can lose the weight, I can keep it down, but slowly it creeps back up because we go back to those old habits. Now, a lot of those things are fun and nice, and certainly I tell my patients who are losing weight that when you eat healthy and lose weight, doesn't mean you'll never be able to have a candy, or you'll never be able to have a birthday cake, or you'll never be able to indulge somewhere. It's just all a matter of lifestyle. You know, changing the whole lifestyle is really what it's all about. So the problem is we have to start somewhere, and it's not easy just to suddenly change our lifestyle. It's much easier just to go on a diet. I know everybody hates to use the word diet, but that's really what we do. We change our dietary habits. It's much easier just to say, Monday, I'm going to start on my diet, or right after the holidays, I'm going to start on my diet, because then we know there's a significant change. If we just start saying things like, well, I'm going to suddenly start eating a little bit more vegetables and cutting back a little bit more on this, we drift real quickly back into our old ways. So that's a difficult thing. Can some people do that? Sure they can. But most of us, we have to have a deadline. We have to have a date. We have to say, here, I'm going to change what I do. And that's okay. You know, if you go into a special dietary calorie reduction program to lose the weight, to get fitter, to get healthier, that's great. That's what most people have to do. And so getting started is really the key issue. A lot of times what we find is when people come to our office, they've made a commitment that, hey, I'm going to do this, and then they make an appointment, and then they come in, and then we talk about diet and exercise and different dietary plans and options and coaching and things we can do to help them, and they've made that decision, and that's their cutoff date, and they're able to start and do a good job with it. When you're trying to do this on your own, it's a lot more difficult, especially if you have a family, especially if you travel a lot, if your business takes you places. It's really difficult to be on your own and to make that transition or that change. So I understand that getting started is the toughest thing. We all can make a decision, but then actually taking action is the key. So if you're having trouble with that, you know, there's a couple of key things I think you want to remember. Number one, if you start and you fail, you can start over again. Don't beat yourself up. You know, I just tell my smokers, the average smoker takes 7 times of trying to quit to finally quit. Well, if you give up after 2 or 3 and the average is 7, which means some people take a lot more, you're never going to quit. I think the same thing holds true for losing the weight. We start, we stop, we start, we stop, and then our brain learns something. It learns that, oh, here we go again. This is painful. I never succeed. And so it becomes our own worst enemy. You've got to be positive. You've got to coach yourself. I like to have you get a coach, someone who can kind of remind you and work with you and keep you going, encourage you, and keep you on the path. But that's what happens. Our brain just has these old programs, and we need to change those old programs. So we'll talk more about getting started and some specific how-tos and techniques that you can use to get there. But the most important thing is make the decision and take action. And as one of my mentors said, take massive action. Change everything. Change it all around. You know, drive a different way to work, sit in a different chair at home, sit in a different place at the table when you eat, go to different restaurants, do completely different things. Try to change the programs in your brain, and I think you'll find that you can get started. Hey, we'll talk to you again next time on Fat Doctor TV, but get started. So long for now, and we'll see less of you next time.